Hey everybody, it's me again, Moody Boo, and I'm back with another one I'm loving, and this one is by John Pegg, who is the perfumer for the House of Kerosene, and this is one of his latest ones called Unforsaken. Now, John is one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, and I've worked with him for a couple of different custom perfumes, bespoke perfumes that I'm in love with. I just love them. And a lot of his latest releases I have, and I really love them as well. So this was actually a blind buy for me. I knew from the notes that I was going to love them, and I really, really like this one. This one is easily, not including my custom perfumes, in the top 3 perfumes that he's done. I love it. Now, Unforsaken comes in this 100 ml bottle, and they're all the same bottles now. They don't come in a bunch of different colors like he used to, the tall rectangular ones. I do have those with my bespoke. You can still get those when you get a custom perfume. But he has them in these more industrial sized, in these industrial kind of looking bottles, which I also love. So, but he does all the painting himself. He does the work himself. I mean, he's quite an artist. So the notes in Unforsaken are tangerine, clementine, coconut, yuzu, orange blossom, jasmine, ginger, tonka beans, benzoin, vanilla, and musk. And when I first spray this, I really get a blast of kind of a sweet citrus aroma. And then when it starts drying down, the coconut really comes out, but it's not that sweet candied kind of coconut like you would find in a Comptoir Sud Pacifique kind of a perfume. I know others have compared almost every coconut perfume with a coconut in it to those perfumes, and I find no comparison at all. Those smell very artificial, very sweet, and inexpensive to me. This, on the other hand, is completely different. The coconut notes that he uses is almost like the whole coconut tree. So I smell the bark of the coconut palm, the meat of the coconut, the shell of the coconut, the whole experience. And the first probably hour that I wear this, it's not real sweet at all. It's more, like I said, that coconut experience more than a candied coconut. So it's more realistic. And I do get the tangerine and the clementine. After that first hour though, it starts to sweeten up, and the vanilla and the benzoin start to come out, and the orange blossom. And the tonka, I get a little bit of it, but not a lot, and I love tonka. But there is a touch of it because it just adds to the coconut aroma that you get, and makes it almost denser and a little sweeter, I think. Even though the vanilla and the benzoin do sweeten it up, it never gets to that real heavy gourmand kind of a perfume. It kind of rides the edge of gourmand, but it also rides the edge, in my opinion, to kind of a sweet woody kind of a perfume. Now, I don't get a lot of the flowers, and honestly, I don't get a lot of the ginger. There might be a touch in there in kind of the menagerie of notes. There might be a little ginger. It's just not one of my favorite notes. I like it, so I don't tend to really gravitate towards it and really recognize it when it's in small doses. But coconut, on the other hand, I love. But it never gets to that Bain de Soleil, you know, that suntan lotion kind of a feel to it, but it still stays beachy. I really get a beach scent visual when I wear this. It's almost like, because it's almost a little dirty. Maybe that's the jasmine in it. Maybe there's a little indole in there, because it's it's almost like drinking a tropical drink in a park that's full of coconut palms in the middle of Honolulu, Hawaii. So you get a little bit of that city funk in there. And that's kind of the way I interpret this. There's just a little bit of naughty in there. And that might be the only participation that I find that the jasmine has. But it does. It's not... It starts getting really dry. You know, the first hour it's pretty dry. But then it starts sweetening up and it starts getting just a touch funky. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean it in a good way. The same way that I Love New York for All by Bond Number 9 has a little stank in it, but it works for it. It's almost feels like you're in the back alley of a cafe when I wear I Love New York for All, because there's some of that almost sour, sweet sour kind of rotting note in it from a back alley that you would find, not the piss note and the puke notes and all that, but all the good funk notes that come out of a dark alley. Well, this isn't to that extreme. That's why I put Unforsaken more in the park, as if Honolulu had a central park that was full of coconut palms and you had some kind of tropical drink with an umbrella in it, but you're still getting that city smell. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's very beachy. It's very beachy. I'm going to be wearing the crap out of this this spring and this summer. And I'll probably take some to Hawaii with me. I don't know. I never know what I'm going to take to Hawaii until the day of, really. And then I end up buying more once I'm there, so whatever. But it's very unisex, I feel, because it never gets real sweet. I think it's perfectly in line, the middle of that unisex scale. I don't think it's any more masculine or feminine on either side of that. So I think it could be worn by anybody. I do think this also could be year-round, because I'm already wearing the heck out of it and it's still winter, even though the weather around here has been kind of crazy warm. So anyway, love this. It's still his normal price, $140 for a 100 ml bottle. I bought mine straight from John on his website, House of Kerosene. I recommend doing that, you know, going straight to him. I had this bottle within about a week after ordering it. I had the bottle of perfume and a really nice note from him, and just any kind of interaction with John I find very positive. So I don't go to other stores to buy his perfumes. I tend to buy them straight from him. He also, you can do PayPal on his website, so it's very easy and user-friendly for those of you that, how about those of W's? Anyway, of those that prefer to buy from department stores and stuff, I like buying, if I can, straight from the perfumer when it's an indie house, and that way I don't feel like, you know, they're having to split the money with anybody else. But you got to check it out. It's really a beauty. I think those that like Unknown Pleasures and like Woodhaven and Fields of Rubus, I think if you like those types of his perfumes, you're going to love this one. So anyway, that's about it for me, and I will talk to y'all soon. All right, peace. Come here. Up. Ooh, Moody. Oh, birdie. All right. Should we do this? Are you going to help me do perfume? You going to help me do perfume review?